Hi everybody and welcome back to another video on building a model railway in a garage. For those of you who have watched from the beginning, when I did these hidden sidings, I was using some of these Hornby re-railers and uncouplers. My thoughts were, as trains and their rolling stock came in, if there was a derailment, then they would be re-railed going over these things. Now, I don't think they worked quite as well as expected, and to be honest with you, not much stuff came in here and derailed when I was bringing stuff in and out. So I thought, well, what is the point of having those here? Because they caused me a problem. That problem was, how do I clean this length of track when it's got a platform above it, it's got something on the front hiding it, without making this stuff removable and rubbing my hands in there? How do I clean it? And I decided last night, that's it, I'm going to rip them up and I'm just going to rewire in some new track, and that means I can either use my CMX cleaner that I've got just here and run that all the way down, or I can use this Gauge Master Pico Gauge Master network rail cleaner that I've got here, although I probably need a new base because I did do some modifications to that, try to get it over those couplers. And that's what I've been doing. Hopefully I'm going to be able to put this track in, and I've already started doing some. I've cut some track here to replace this one, and one here and one there. And what I've come across, and many people probably have come across, is that, and I'm pretty bad at this, whenever I cut the track I end up cutting it too short, and it's like, this is just really annoying. I'm cutting these pieces of track short and I end up having to scrap it and start all over again. Like most people, I guess, you're using some kind of Dremel form with a carbonite disc just here, so that it can actually cut through the track, but most of you will find that trying to cut a piece of track dead center is actually quite difficult. They're quite bulky and in the way. Or I've been using these DCC Concepts track cutters, which you can cut in this orientation, and these do actually work really well. But what I have found is that I still end up cutting everything too short. So what I've been doing currently is I've been lining it up, and I have been using a marker, in this case a blue one, marking the lines on the track, and I cut it using these track cutters probably a mil or two longer than they should be. And that's just the way it is. But I have found that if I then use something like one of these very fine jeweler's files, or whatever you want to call them, on the track, and you can probably see where I've been doing that just here. If you bring them backwards and forwards, you can actually quite quickly remove a mil or even 2 mil of track. And that has allowed me to put these pieces of track in, and they are actually really, well, nicely, they will be nicely aligned and fit really well. So hopefully running on this now will be really smooth and really good, and I'll be able to clean it. And if we count to 3, 2, 1, here they are. So what better way to test the new track that I've put in than to run something across it? So here we've got an HST. It's the motor car is coming in, so it's pulling everything in. It's at speed step about 25 or about 25, 20. And it's coming into siding 4. It's one of the slightly shorter ones. This has got, I think, 6 coaches on it. As I said, it's pulling it in, and it's working pretty well. Just about to prep the blue HST now to run that around, bring that in also, and I'm going to put that into siding number 3. That one I think has got 7 coaches on it as well, and this is going to be pushing, so the motor car is at the rear of this train. All of them are using the magnets from, I think, Hunt's Couplings, and I've made a couple of custom 3D printed ones to fit. Actually, I'm telling a little fib. The blue one has got all magnets. The green one has magnets at one end, but I've still needs to print a new 3D coupling for the other because they are stepped. So you can't see it, but the control panel's got a little indicator on there, so I'm waiting for the HST to go in and illuminate the first orange one, and once it does I press the stop on my controller, which it's just done. I can then power it down. I do need to do a slight tweak to the audio. The green HST is way louder than the blue. It's a little bit too loud, although when you watch the previous video that I posted when I've relayed the curves, I did run both of these trains at 128 speed steps. Mainly it's kind of a brave and stupid thing to do, but I figure if it can go around at full speed it's probably going to be alright, and they were. But boy, the noise that the actual trains make on the track, even though they're foam, the beds are all foam and there's no nails, and it's using copy decks and there's no ballast in there at the moment, it does, well, it's really loud. Anyway, you can just hear a little bit of I'm not sure what that was, but I did run it over a few times and it went in quite happily. Maybe I want to make it slightly slower, but as I said, this is actually being pushed in as opposed to being pulled like the green one was. So I'd like to say thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this short video, then please do hit the subscribe, hit the like button. It does always help the old YouTube metrics and analytics to get these videos promoted. So thanks very much for watching to the end, and I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye for now.